In this episode, it's an A1 special as I host 2 roundtables on the boy band's album Make It Good. Plus, there's your letters in postbag. That's all to come on this edition of the 90s and Noughties UK podcast, a podcast on UK pop culture of the 90s and 2000s. This is Jamie Dyer saying welcome to the show, and if you'd like to get in contact with us, you can. You can tweet us at 90s_Noughties UK on Twitter. You can email 90sandnaughties@gmail.com, or you can also check us out on Facebook, 90s and Noughties UK. So much to fit into the show today. Let's start with this week's edition of Postbag. So the question that I put out on social media this week was, what is your first memory of A1 and your favourite song by them? So Hayley says, first memory was when their first single, Be the First to Believe, was out, and I bought it. My favourite song is Same Old Brand New You. Michelle says, first memory was being 11 years old, watching Be the First to Believe and falling in love with Ben and his curtains. I love every time since Ben took my phone on stage when it was being performed, and Same Old Brand New You as I got to see it performed while it was number 1 in the charts. Mandy says, been a fan since I was 10. First time saw them on Be the First to Believe music video on MTV. Since then, I became an avid fan. Bought all the magazines that featured them, even though they were just on the cover of them. Collected all the cassettes and CDs that they have, and until now, 21 years later, I'm still a fan. I first saw them in person in 2012. It was the first concert after they reunited again from 4 to 3. They're the nicest band, and they appreciate their fans so much. Another one that we have here says that year 2000 was when they first heard A1, and was kind of annoyed by Ben's voice. Got this crazy childhood thing of getting annoyed randomly for no reason. Then, I just found myself buying all their CDs, listening to it every day and collecting A1 stuff until now. Emma says, when I saw A1 at the Blue Peter Roadshow in Scarborough, my poor dad drove me to the event. A 10-hour road trip with hyper teenagers, and I loved every second. The first time I met them was a signing in Peterborough Tesco. They were so lovely. Lally says, been an avid fan since I saw their Be the First to Believe music video. Been collecting A1 stuffs since then. Unfortunately, I lost them due to flood, but have started another A1 collection. I have been lucky enough to attend all their concerts here in Manila. One in Love is my favourite. And lastly, Claire says, I remember recording them every time they were on CD UK so I could learn the dance routines to the songs. But my favourite song has to be Like a Rose. I've loved it ever since it was released. Thank you to everyone who submitted to this week's edition of Postbag. Right, this is a 90s and Noughties roundtable with me, Jamie Dyer, and we've tried something a little bit different in this edition because the band A1, like many bands of the era, have fans all over the world. A UK band with some Norway links, of course, has fans all over the world, including Southeast Asia. And I'm very glad to be joined today by a group of fans. This is the biggest roundtable we've ever done. There's 6 people with us. Yeah. six people with us who are going to tell us about their love of A1, and in particular, we're going to discuss the album "Make It Good." So yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? So first, I should ask you all, really, how did you get into the band A1?
Hi guys, I'm Priya. Okay, how I got to know A1 was when I first saw every time on TV, the MTV, and I actually fell in love with the band and the music. I started following them on the radio, and I actually was lucky when they came to Singapore, uh, because I think it was their first appearance in Singapore, and that was in Plaza Singapura. And I managed to get up on stage. And when I actually met the guys, I realized how nice they actually were in person. And that's how my relationship with them grew. And I got very lucky because they actually came down to Singapore quite a number of times. And I actually got a chance to meet with them and take pictures with them in 2002. And I think, if I'm not wrong, it's the Make It Good album. Yeah, that's how my love affair began.
Yes. Actually, it's the same thing for me. I was really into MTV at that time, and I saw every time same music video. And I think what really got me hooked was I saw Ben Adams' face, and he was like the most gorgeous man I've ever seen at that time. And I'm like,
Agreed.
this guy. Yes, I'm like, this guy is so gorgeous. Like, how is it possible that there's someone this good looking and talented? And I'm like, okay, from now on I'm gonna be an A1 stan. Well, the stan word didn't exist back then, but it was, and it got to a point that I was the A1 girl in my school. Like everybody knows I'm the biggest A1 fan in school. So, but the sad thing is, because I can't really afford CDs, because I have to buy I have to buy their music through my own allowances. I had to end up buying cassette tapes, but I do have all the cassette tapes. Well, everything they released in cassette anyway. So yeah, I think that's when it started for me as well.
This is Risa. Okay, I became a huge A1 fan. It's actually from MTV. So their first album is basically, like Be the First to Believe. And then these guys are looking like angels. And then when I first saw them, right, it's just like love at first sight. So I just, follow them on my magazine, CD UK, Pop, Top of the Pop, all these things. Those time in my school days, I take my pocket money to actually buy their magazines and CDs, posters, even calendars. And then I actually get a chance to meet them. They came to Singapore 2001, but I wasn't able to go. So because I was still young. So then I went for 2002. I actually won a quiz. So when buying for the Make It Good album, so we got a private meet and greet where I met some of my friends, which is still my friends now. So which is awesome because it's been years. I actually met the guy in person. Then my respect for them incredibly raised the bar because they're super nice, hands down. They're very friendly, and my camera went stuck. So Ben and Paul were helping me, with the camera, and then when I was very shy, they actually asked me to sit beside them, like make me feel so warm. Oh my God, they're just like a friend, not like celebrity. And there's Mark and Christian, who's super friendly. They make us feel so at home and interacting with us in every way, even now.
All right, so I'm Rochelle from Singapore. So I've been a fan since 1999, since I watched the MTV. I think all of us begin with the same journey, through MTV, and then we listen to radio shows whenever they come here and showcases. And they've been to a few places. The first time they were here. I wasn't that lucky. In Plaza Singapura, but in 2002, I think we got lucky because we won the CDs and. Yeah, so basically when we get to see them in person, not just the voice, not just the looks, they have what it takes to be the true stars in our hearts. Yeah, so they live up to our expectation each and every time we meet them. Yeah. And the special bonding, goes beyond, how do I explain that? during the meet and greet, after they left, actually, we were allowed to go into their meet and greet room. So we actually see, we actually took some banners home, and then we see some lovely pictures and chocolates left behind. So we don't take that, of course. So yeah, but we took some posters, yeah, home.
Well, I first known them 1998, 1999 when my sister showed me the album, the first album, Here We Come album. I wasn't really a huge fan of watching MTV, but then when my sister showed me the cover of the album, and I was like blown away with how Ben Adams wore his
Massive Ben Adams fan here.
iconic hairstyle. And precisely, and I had this the first video that I watched was Ready or Not, and I actually went to their first ever concert here in the Philippines. I even remembered I thrown a tantrums to my auntie so that she could let me go and she'll buy me a ticket to that very first concert. And I remember that's the first time I slammed the door so that they will just allow me to go and watch the concert. And I envy all of you because I've never been to any of the meet and greet. I've never been to any of their meet and greet.
Come.
Yet to
Yeah.
come.
Yet to come.
Yeah,
Stay
yet to come,
positive.
yet to come.
I wanted to, but hey, never anytime soon. So yeah, that's my
Yeah.
fair share of Ben Adams and the rest of the guys' story.
Hi everyone, I'm Luke. Actually, the first time I knew about A1, I was watching the TV channel, the local TV channel, and it appeared on MTV. As I remember, it was summertime of our lives. The first time that really captured the face, the handsome face was Christian. I'm sorry for Pan Adams fans, but it was Christian. Yeah, and since then, since like 1999 until like 2006,
Sorry, who
the
caught your
title,
attention?
Christian.
Christian,
Christian. Ooh.
gonna give you a slow clap, girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christian is a nice guy.
1999 to 2006, as I remember, all of the radio and then tabloids, magazines, all full with A1, especially with the Make It Good, the cut. I remember cut in the middle. It was like a blast every time, like since morning until like evening. 10 times they played it on the radio in Indonesia. And actually, liking A1, it was my first time. Like I need to sacrifice my pocket money from my parents to buy the sets. After that, they came to my country like a couple times, but I couldn't join the concert and the meet and greet. But 2 years ago, apparently, I had a chance to join the meet and greet in Indonesia finally.
Okay, I feel so left
That's
out.
nice.
Wow.
And
I feel so left
Amazing.
out now.
what I really
Maybe
like,
one day you'll get it. Don't worry.
I'll definitely
Yeah.
do
I'm
this.
gonna get it.
Yeah.
you'll get it once the border is open.
True.
Yeah.
What I like from A1, they really like to maintain their relationship or their bond between the artists and the fans. You know what? Because I think now A1 doesn't have any cooperate with any, like, what is it called? Ever contract with like Sony Music something. They don't have any more contract, right? So it's kind of difficult to get the CD or the vinyl mode. And you can just contact them like privately. Mark, can you bring this to the concert? Blah blah blah. Chris, this is okay. I will just do the PayPal. Blah 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 blah. Oh my God, it's very like, to me, it's a very like special privilege.
Do you know something interesting? Something interesting about them. When they were coming back for the concert in 2016, Mark were actually asking me what are the songs that we should play, and he even asked suggestions from us. And it makes me feel really honored because they actually tell us what is their plan of coming back and what is it like, what is the songs that we want to hear them play and sing.
Yeah, very true. Mark also asked me that.
And the sweetest things after the concert, they actually thank us.
Girls,
privately
can you add me
for-
on your social media so that you could help me connect with them?
Sure.
Please add me on your social media, guys. I'm
Sure.
begging you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll definitely
I feel so bad and I feel so sad now. This is very disappointing and depressing.
Don't worry. you will get it.
That's
You're
fine.
very good. That's a
Yes,
waste of time.
join
Not we guys
friendly.
gonna talk about make it good, but you guys talking about how you guys talk to them and
Okay,
message
regarding
them and they
about
replied
Yeah,
on
yeah.
all.
We're supposed to talk about the album.
regarding
What is
about
in
make it
here?
good, it's good, right? I'm not sure if
Sorry,
I'm
Jamie.
this is not a video, right?
I should say that has everyone answered that first question?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we did.
Yeah, pretty
Sorry.
much.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we have, yes.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
time I turn on the Make It Good album, I feel like very nostalgic. I was like still in junior high school at the time, like my junior high school time filled with heartbreaks, like
Yeah. Their songs are very inspiring.
heartbreak,
Yeah.
and then
it's very
fell
inspiring.
in love again, and then heartbreaks again.
How I wish they could still appear like on CD UK, Smash Hits,
Those were the
the
time.
magazine.
Nostalgic. Yeah. Those were the
Yeah.
time.
Miss
Yeah.
those times, man.
Especially the song When I'm Missing You, and what is it, Caught in the Middle? Oh, the lyrics is very touching, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lyrics is very touching. Make It Good. I like. What's your favorite song? My favorite song, right, for mine is Caught in the Middle. Make It Good. Yeah, Make It Good. These are some of my favorite. And of course, When I'm Missing You. Yeah, that's a very nice song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's all the song related
have
to our
both.
feelings.
Yeah, I think my favorite would be Easy to Cheat by Paul. I actually like the feel of the song. And this came in like the Southeast Asian edition. I don't know if you guys have this. I think You're Not in Love was also included in Make It
Not in
Good.
Love.
Yeah.
You're Not in Love,
Yeah.
right? But it's not in like the main album. It's like an additional album. And yeah, it's like another cassette tape for me. But yeah, I think that's also one of my favorites.
So just a question, sorry. What your Make It Good for your cassettes, right? Yeah, are they still working? are they still working? I'm just curious.
Are your audio cassettes still working?
Yeah.
Mine is still.
Yeah,
Yes,
mine is still
surprising.
working.
Yeah.
I just don't have like a
Yeah.
cassette tape that's
Surprising, right?
there's no cassette players anymore.
Preserved.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just wondering. I mean, like all of the lyrics in Make It Good albums are very relatable to our lives.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very relatable with our lives, and there is no. How can I say? All good songs. All are good songs and Make It Good.
One thing I could relate to Learn to Fly at that time because there was some restrictions. We even tried to sneak out to go for maybe growing up. Yeah, so that's the song Learn to Fly. Like, say, oh, I need to break away. I need to learn to fly. Yeah.
Yeah, actually during that Make It Good during that album thingy, we also had the fan adventure where we meet all the friends, right? And we actually waited for them for 12 hours at the airport because
And the great thing, right, when the boys actually came back in 2012, greatest hits, after 10 years, right? Exactly 10 years. And then Ben Adam actually and Mark said that they recognized us, which I was like, oh, are you sure? And then before they left, right, they give me a present. It's a cookie from Ritz-Carlton. So he said, hey, I got a present for you. I was like, oh my God. That was super nice.
I'd be close.
and Mark
your-
shared the biscuit.
Biscuits with us. Yeah, that's true. Those memories were really like, like they don't behave like a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anyone see A1 live around the time of this album? And what was it like?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
Yeah,
Make
we
it
did.
good.
We did.
We did.
We waited for 12 hours at the airport because we thought that it was 7 a.m. but it's actually 7 p.m. flight.
Actually, what happened? I wanted to talk about Make It Good, right? Is because this album, right? Is because of this album that we get to meet them live. Yeah, in person. We won this contest. It's a private meet and greet. It's only a few of us who actually were let into the hotel.
My God, can we proceed to second question because I'm so left out. Whatever you guys are talking about, I feel so bad. Jamie, help me out. I am begging
it's
you.
because Jamie is the one who asked us whether we met any of them, whether we met them during this period. And
Please don't
yes,
ask the
unfortunately, yes.
question again, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, we did
feel
meet them
so
during
left
that period.
out.
Yeah.
So just a little question. Jamie, are you also an A1 fan?
I am, although not quite as big as all of you.
Who's your favorite 90s band for yourself?
Oh, that's yeah. That is that's a question that maybe I shouldn't answer.
What's your favorite A1 song?
One
Oh,
song,
Yes.
I guess.
That's a
I'd
good
say
question.
Caught in the Middle.
Ah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Caught in the
Is
Middle.
there any sentiments related to it? Is there any
Yeah.
special reason?
Well, I like the sound of it, and I actually saw them live in 2016 during the big reunion boy band tour, where they were on the bill with loads of other groups.
Oh my God, I wish I'm there.
That's when they that's the show they had like old, not
Yes.
old, like I mean like famous
Some.
artists from before. Like I think they had Steps there. They had Five. I did watch
Yeah,
that. I
Yeah.
think.
5.
Yeah.
I think one of the things
Yeah.
I like about
So
Caught
did
in
you
the
ever
Middle
dance
is still
whenever you hear Caught in the Middle? Do you dance?
Well,
Oh, when you hear that, you're just gonna start your body moving.
I think the body will move on its own, right?
Yes.
I think compared to their older material, the material from before, it's not quite as danceable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
I
my
realize
opinion.
that
It is.
as well.
It's not.
Caught in the Middle, there's a French version, but I think I prefer the original. Yeah.
But I
Oh
think
yeah, I think they had a remix for that one.
Make It Good is a much more mature album as compared to the previous albums. Actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Make It Good was really it's something different. I think the reason
Yeah.
why A1
So,
fans are like growing with them is
actually,
because the
yeah,
albums grew as well.
In short, it's like the album is like Make It Good. It's always advancing, so always moving into the new era. So it's always a Make It Good step.
Like if you listen to the next album after that, it's actually even more mature sounding. So
Yeah.
it's like from
It is. It's very mature
From
sounding.
Here We Come to the A-list and Make It
A-list,
Good
and then
and
Make It Good.
Waiting for Daylight and Rediscovered.
I think
Mm.
I think, but if you ask me, my personal favorites were actually Here We Come and A-List because that's where all my favorite songs were from.
Yeah, the A-list
Yeah.
one. Maybe a release song. Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
A release song.
Yeah.
Make It Good. I like Learn to Fly, Make It Good, and Caught in the Middle. But I think maybe the reason why I like these songs is something that was actually repeated over the radio multiple times. So we will actually catches my attention. So when they came back to the concert and the minute they start playing the chords, I actually know what they're playing, and you can start singing along with
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
Definitely. The good thing is that for our favorite, of course, A-list, but yet again, Make It Caught in the Middle, because Make It Good is holds a nostalgic because we met them in person. So the memories are
Yeah.
significant.
And talking about that, I'm so happy that all of them, the four of them, are now back together again.
Yeah, that's why I made it a point to go to their concert last year because everyone was there. You know,
Everyone
all made it
was
back.
crying.
So
Yeah.
I remember
All
last
was
time.
emotional.
I
Who
remember last
cried when you saw Paul?
They're so happy
Yeah.
to see the four of them again.
You know that
It was a
moment
dream.
we were-
I cried.
The
I
fans
cried.
never give up.
Yeah, we'd never give up on them.
They
Yeah.
always come for
Yeah.
this. Yeah. So eventually,
Especially when they
come,
sing, when they introduce Paul, and then they sing "Don't Want to Lose You Again," something like that. That line. Oh my God, that's
Oh my
very
God, we love the bromance.
that's very heart melting and heartwarming.
and the way you see
Yeah.
Ben holding on to Paul's hand, that was beautiful.
Like as if nothing changes.
I have to say, when since we're talking about Make It Good, when you actually listen to the Make It Good songs playlist, and when you read the lyrics of it, you're gonna somehow get something from it. There's a lesson that you could get something.
True.
I have to say I'm caught up in once again. I was fine with these things. I'm caught in the middle a little bit. Yeah, bad pun. I'm caught in the middle because most of you have never met before. Most of you have never met before, as far as I know. You're in different countries, but you all share this love of one band, and you're all talking. And I'm as always, I always keep quiet during these things because I just love seeing everything, everything kind of come in, and it's wonderful that you all share this love for this band.
Sure, it's interesting that you came up with this because it's just with our sentiments. Yeah.
JB, you're not feeling cornered, right? About us discussing about it.
Living the dreams.
I'm sorry
That's
for
another
not
one.
getting word edgewise.
Just
I'm really
playing
sorry
the
about
song,
that.
Living
But
the dream. Doesn't
Hang on
you
here,
will definitely live the dream.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Christella, you were saying.
sorry, I mean, I'm just saying that I feel like I can't get in a word a word
Yes.
edgewise, because there's just like every time we talk about the band, I think not just us, but like the general fan base is like we revert back to the teenager selves, to our teenager selves. Like
Mm.
all the feelings come back. So I'm really sorry if you're caught up in everything, but this is just fangirls bonding over something they really, really love. So sorry.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. It's a
Some
it's a
things that don't
delight.
change.
This is fangirling time.
It's actually amazing that we are as excited as we are.
This is after how many years? Since 1999,
Over
and the
2 decades.
excitement is, yeah,
2000 to 18 years, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
1990. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I mean, like the band came out in 1999, but the
Yeah.
excitement we are having right now is like as though we are back in 1999.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's actually the
Definitely.
power of.
It's a good
Yeah,
They make
thing.
us feel young again.
The love is young.
They make us feel young again every time.
Yeah.
I just don't want to think about how old I am right now.
Me too. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but
I'm still 15.
it's in there. I'm not gonna say how old, but you kind of know. Like if you're a teenager in 1999, you kind of know, right? So
I mean, we are as old as the band if I'm thinking about it.
No, I thought we were just in diapers.
The funny thing, right, about the guys, right, we can just joke anything. We had a very funny jokes with Paul.
Yeah, we did.
Which is very
Yeah.
interesting, but so it's not. I think this is a family show. We better don't talk.
Yeah. He's always very funny on Twitter and always bonding with fans before he actually like reunite with the band.
They have a great
Yeah.
sense of humor. Yeah.
Very amazing.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about all the members, they're very active outside of the band as well, aren't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
they
yeah,
are.
they are. Like
I think the good thing about it is that they actually have talents outside the band, so
Yeah,
they
that
can actually show that
theater.
they are not actually just like a one hit wonder, or they are actually
Yeah.
just a boy bander. They have other talents as well. Like
Yeah.
Ben actually wrote a musical called Eugenius, and
Yeah.
Mark was actually in a lot of
His solo
do you
things.
call it
Releasing
French times,
the family
or do you
song.
call it playing
Very
plays
low.
over there? Yeah, and they actually some of them write their own music, so it shows how multi-talented they are. And Christian is actually teaching music.
Yeah.
Music, yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Songwriting, to be exact. And I think one of the reason why they're staying, the staying power that they have as boy band, it's um they're very active with their social media, and they never forget to connect and to reconnect with different audience.
yeah.
And last time in the last interview, you remember like Mark had an interview with one of the announcer, right, in UK.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said
Yeah.
that if we are not
Yep.
making music, now, we cannot like earn as much as before.
Mm.
Like making the lyrics,
Yeah.
making lyrics. He said it was very important. He said like that.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing that
Composing
because
start.
of this pandemic, this show had to go on a standstill. But because I do hope they come back for concerts, etc. Because this is what they really enjoy, and we enjoy watching them as well.
But the virtual concert was amazing as well, right?
Online, yeah, they just
Yeah.
had a virtual concert. Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Yes.
I already paid for that concert, but I couldn't join.
Oh my goodness.
What happened?
Because the roster just put my sudden schedule. I gotta fly.
Oh.
man.
Interesting, yeah.
That's
Yeah. We'll bring this to a close, but do we think that the Make It Good album is like the definitive album? Is it like the best album that A1 have ever done?
Okay,
Definitely one of the best.
it's very hard to say.
Definitely
but-
one of the best.
Okay, I will go bias, all right? Because A1 have a lot of great music. For example, I don't want to use you again all this. This song is very beautiful. There's so many, just can't choose one. But this Make It Good album has a sentimental values to us because we met them live for the first time. And we stay glued forever, yeah.
A lot of memories to reminisce on, and
So I
because
was-
of them, we got to meet real nice friends who are not
Yes.
just fans. We are friends for over 20 years.
In fact, we
Yeah.
found good friends. Yeah, through them.
I mean, for me, although Make It Good is one of the more mature albums. I think because as I grew with them, I think for me personally, I like the Waiting for Daylight album actually. I actually like the
Good.
songs from there because it's so much more catchier and more mature sounding. And for some reason, it actually resonated with me very well. So Make It Good was like, if you ask me, out of the four I remember most, it comes under the fourth album. Yeah, it's like my fourth
Waiting for
choice.
Daylight.
And the color of the
well,
music comparing with the A list is so much different, right? Between the
Yeah.
Make It Good
it
and the
is.
A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think. Well, actually, I'm gonna be agreeing with. I'm not. I don't know, but I actually think that was the best for me because Make It Good was really their transition into showing the fans that we can grow old with you. Like we're not stuck in this teeny bopper phase. Like because
Mm-mm.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love both albums. I love Here We Come. I love the A List. But listening to Make It Good and because I was going through puberty at that time. Like I was a teenager, so the songs were a little more deep. The songs were a little more, I guess, substantial. So that's actually my favorite album. To be honest, that's my favorite album. And see, my favorite songs aren't even the ones they released. So that just shows how often I listen to this songs. And I even had my mom like, knocking on my door saying like, "Is that the only thing you're gonna play the whole day?" So yeah, Make It Good is my favorite album, and so I'm definitely biased. That's the best for me. Yeah.
Well, for me, if you're gonna ask me, I think I super love all the albums because it's A1. So I love everything. But I super my most favorite would be Make It Good, not because of anything else, but because of the lyrics, because of the list of the songs. You like what I mentioned earlier. There's a lot of learnings that you'll get from it. It's one of you says that it's very relatable. And what I'm in there. That's one of my favorite that's one of my favorite album. That's why it's very, how to say this, I was very, mm, when I heard it, when I read and when I heard that everyone's during those times that when they released the album, there's a lot of people saying not good things about the album, and they're actually like saying a lot of things that is not very good for the boys, and that's very not motivational. So it's like I was like, what? During the well, we have to understand during those times we are not really that open in transition from this genre and then changing your ways of singing. Like when people get used to how you sing, when people used to see you dancing and grooving, and when you started singing something that is very personal and very relatable, relatable in everyday life, they will never like it. Maybe that's why. But Make It Good, yes, it's a transition. And I remember, it's a quick sharing because we're closing. I remember when was it? I remember when they released the Make It Good album. Every time I'm feeling something, when I'm feeling whatever emotions that I'm feeling, I will just go back to the album and listen to it. Like I keep on listening from that album, and maybe it may sound crazy, but I even remember I even remember before, Lord, I'm gonna love this boy band simply because you are talking to me through their songs and through that Make It Good album. And I was like, really, yes, super love it. Go A1 fans. Go.
Make it good actually Make
That's
it good
why.
actually leave a lot of memories for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a wonderful sentiment on which to close. Last thing, just tell us what your favourite song is from the album.
Caught in the Middle.
Can you sing Priya?
I'm so sorry. That's very fast.
Now, so I'll sing Caught in the Middle because right now I'm just caught in the middle. There's so many songs that I actually love. So I'll just choose, if I choose one, just Caught in the Middle.
Caught in the middle, yeah.
And so I'm gonna go off on the limb.
Caught in the middle.
Isn't it cheap?
Isn't it cheap? See.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I like the
Isn't it cheap?
vibe of that song.
Do you remember one last song, Let It Out, Learn to Fly?
Yeah, I
Crazy.
remember the fever.
Sorry, I
Right?
have that's one
Fever
from
song.
Make It Good, and the Cherish This.
Here comes
Yes, and then
Right.
after that, second, I love One in Love. That's a very timely song for
Let's
this
sing.
pandemic. One in Love, and then lastly, I have to sing it. No, and lastly, I like the Armor song. It's hopeful. Armor song. It's very hopeful, and it's like someone's backing me up and someone's fighting for me when I'm hearing that song. So yeah, it's very hopeful. You should, when you're down, especially when you're down and when you're confused, just listen to that Armor song, and then it's very uplifting.
Armor, I love Armor.
And you
Yes,
can
Armor is very
beautiful.
good.
dance.
Yeah.
It is good.
That's their latest single.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Armor is very good.
Actually, from Make It Good, right? The song Here Comes the Rain is also very beautiful. If you listen to it. And when you listen to the song, right, rains just appear. It's like, wow.
Oh my God! Now you
Comes
should
the
sing
rain.
it and
So I have
First
to play
time I heard
that.
about the Here Comes the Rain, I cried.
Here
Why
comes
the
the
lyrics
rain.
are so relatable?
Yeah.
Oh my
I think the best thing is to play Here Comes the Rain, and then you play Walking in the Rain afterwards.
Walking in the Rain.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah, so you get the
romantic.
rain and then you walk in it.
That seems like a good place to stop there. But thank you so much to you all for taking the time out to talk about this, because I just love seeing all the fandom. I love seeing everybody kind of connect over one thing. So no,
Thank you.
thank you.
so
It's
much,
our
Jenny.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's another 90s and Noughties roundtable, and this time we are going to be discussing the A1 album, Make It Good, and I'm sure all things A1 over the course of the next 25 minutes or so. And I'm joined by two massive A1 fans, Donna and Hayley. Thank you for joining us today. And if you're thinking this sounds familiar, yes, we have already done it, but this is with UK fans this time. So, Donna, start us off. How did you get into A1?
Well, I came to university at Staffordshire back in 2000, and at the time, A1 were at the top of the charts with the cover of Aha, Take On Me. And me and my friend, my housemate at the time, really liked the tune. And then they were on tour. And it just so happened that one of the tour spots that they had was Victoria Hall, which was in Stoke-on-Trent. So we decided that we would go along because we liked the song so much. And we used to watch it on CD UK every week. That we would, if the tickets were no more than £15, we would go and see them because we only liked the one song. We went along to the Victoria Hall and the tickets were £15. So we ended up buying 2 tickets and we went along to the tour and absolutely fell in love with all of their songs. And from then on, I've always been a devout A1 fan and have gone to several concerts, bought all their albums and merchandise, and that's how I ended up becoming a fan.
Yeah, that's a wonderful story. What about you, Hayley?
All I just want to say, Donna, I mean, £15 per ticket. I mean, that's a bargain, isn't it? Oh, if only it was still like that now.
I know, quite.
So I have been a fan from the very beginning. I remember hearing Be the First to Believe and seeing a video, and I just thought it was brilliant. And I went out and bought the single straight away. So I've literally supported them from the start. And they were my first concert. And so I went on the same tour as you. And that was the first concert that I went to. So, and I've told them that when I've met them at the meet and greet and that. I said, you guys were like my first concert. But yeah, I mean, I've seen them a couple of times, like over the past year. Like, because did you go to the reunion shows, Donna?
Yes, so I went to the reunion, the big boy, was it the big band reunion?
Yeah.
They did with Steps and stuff.
Yeah.
And I also went to the one more recently that, like the end of, was it the end of last year, beginning of this year? I can't remember. That I went to that one as well.
The one like with Paul back with them.
Yes,
Same.
with Paul back now in the fold.
Yes.
This is brilliant.
Which one did you go to?
I went to the Manchester one.
I went to Birmingham. I wanted to go to Manchester, but in the end went to Birmingham. So
when I originally saw them,
yeah,
I ended up then spending all of my student loan buying stupid Just 17 magazines so I could get posters.
I used to do the same. I used to go out and buy all of them, like smash hits and all everything, put all the posters up. Have you seen them on the Boys Are Back tour, which is obviously the tour that they were on just before COVID happened?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I did as well. So, yeah. But I had a couple of extra dates scheduled, but obviously they've been postponed to February. So I'll be, if obviously it all goes to plan, that'll be when I next see them in February. So, yeah.
I actually saw them 3 times last year because I saw them at Trentham Gardens. They did, Trentham Gardens did a brand new festival. I can't remember what it was called, but they were part of that. So I saw them at them. And then they were part of an 80s and 90s festival.
Oh, cool. I did see that on, actually. That did look
at Leicestershire, Leicester, something like that. And I went, my husband bought me tickets for that for Valentine's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because it had A1 and also my other favourite band, which was E17. So they were both playing at the same concert. So he bought me tickets to that. So I saw them 3 times last year, which was pretty cool.
Oh, I saw them obviously last November on that reunion show in Manchester, and then the tour they've just done. Well, were in the middle of doing when everything happened. On the Boys Are Back tour, so I saw them. I went to 2 dates, but I had like another 2 or 3 scheduled to happen. But obviously now it's been pushed back, and some of the new dates I can't go to, so I'm just going to probably go to 1, maybe 2 new one in February. 1 for sure. It's whether the other one I decide to go to or not as well. So. Got that to look forward to at least if it happens with everything. So we shall see.
In this particular roundtable, obviously in the previous one that we did with the fans in Southeast Asia, we covered the album Make It Good. Now, I am conscious that the listener, this will be included in the same episode, might not want to hear too much of the same thing, but tell us kind of your memories of Make It Good. When did you discover it, and what is like the one track on it that kind of stands out to you? I'll let Hayley go first on this occasion.
I would say, I knew about it when they were due to release it, obviously at the time. But it is a really good. It's very underrated. I don't think it was appreciated as an album personally, because they also had that more mature side. They had that edge to it. Of course, obviously, it was that bit of a more mature pop. It's still pop, but obviously that bit edgier, mature pop. The whole album. I mean, it's got it's every track's different in itself. So I haven't really got a standout as such. They're all different in their own ways, but there's so many to mention. Like, isn't it cheap? It's great. Obviously, Caught in the Middle. Is obviously just awesome. Make It Good itself as well. But again, I just feel that they weren't, especially Make It Good, the song wasn't appreciated at the time, and it is a really good track. And like I said, I think it's quite sad actually that at the time it felt like it was overlooked. That's how I feel in regards to it. So
I would agree. It was definitely a more mature sounding album for the boys. The album before that was The A-List, and that was definitely more of a poppy vibe.
It was,
more of a kind of Steps feel to it.
Yeah.
And this album, the Make It Good album, definitely showcased more of their songwriting abilities. They obviously play instruments on all of them, but again, it's definitely more mature. And again, I would agree, definitely underappreciated. They did have a couple of, I think, number ones from it, but my favourite track is "Caught in the Middle." I think that's a brilliant track, and it was a number one. So that's that's my favourite one. I didn't feel that there were any. I think the phrase is they're all killer tracks. There's no fillers. Like exactly. I thought there was with the A list. I didn't. There are a couple of songs that I skip. They're not my favourites, but with Make It Good, I put it on and I can listen to the whole album without wanting to miss any of the tracks.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I definitely concur about Caught in the Middle. I mean, that is such a great track, the way that it builds up at the beginning, and it's a lot more mature. Make It Good is almost like a transferring song from the pop into the mature, because we start off with that very kind of boy bandy harmonies, and then going into something different, which is interesting. Now, did any of us see the band when this album was released?
I did. Yes, I basically saw them literally. Well, it was after Paul had left, and it was literally right near the end before they took they went on hiatus, as they call it now. Basically, we're actually saying that no apologies. I planned to see them, but they cancelled due to illness. I was meant to be seeing them in Manchester on the Smash Hits tour, and I actually went there to see them, but unfortunately they cancelled. So no apologies. I didn't actually see them when Make It Good was out. I saw them beforehand, but no, obviously I would have done. But obviously they unfortunately cancelled they pulled out of the show that I was meant to be seeing them at, sadly. So yeah.
That must have been gutting.
I was gutted, actually. Yeah, I was. But every cloud, I always remember that Busted were there and they made up for it. So, so that's why I look at it now. That's why I look at it. So Busted were there.
Well, there's every cloud.
Yeah.
Every cloud. Yeah. On the following tour, the tour that you did see them at after Make It Good, did you notice any kind of difference live to before? Did they make more of an effort perhaps to come across as more mature, or was it kind of a mixture?
For me, because when was it? Because obviously it was basically when they did the big reunion, like we were talking about with like obviously the other bands, when that was when I saw them at Butlins basically on that tour. It was a bit of a mixture, really. I mean, yeah, there was obviously signs of obviously them being older anyway, but like in showing that bit more mature side, because obviously they weren't like young lads anymore, like they were. So I would say a bit of mix. That there was that mature side, but then they still had like the fun, bouncy, but like the dance routines and whatnot. So yeah.
I felt when I saw them that the transition between the albums was that they didn't do their routines as much as they used to.
No,
so before they would do whole songs and they would do a routine for the entire song.
Exactly, yeah.
But this time they would only do it for like the chorus. And then the rest of the time they would just be bobbing about on stage doing their own thing, or they would be playing instruments more as well on stage rather than doing the dance routines. And they weren't as coordinated in their clothes as they previously did.
No.
Which was a distinct change.
They tend to make a joke now about the dance routines. They'll be like, oh, we've got to try and dance now and see if we still can, and like kind of thing. They make like a bit of a joke about it as well, which I think is sweet. Bless them. So
yeah. I mean, they have aged really, really well. When I went to the 80s and 90s festival, one of the other boy bands that was there was and also on the reunion tour was 911. And they have not aged very well, bless them. And they still try and do the hardcore, really, the dance routines.
I know they do. Yeah.
Bless them. But A1 have been really lucky in that they have all aged really, really well, and they still look very similar to 20 years ago, which is mad.
I mean, Ben in particular still looks really baby faced, and
he does, and he's lost a lot of weight recently because he felt he was getting podgy, I think, because he then went on a massive weight loss and really toned up, and he looks really, really well for it. So they all look really well, to be fair.
I think the lack of dance routines thing that we're talking about, I think that's quite, unless you're like Steps where your dance routines were like half of the act, then I don't think a lot of them have really bothered with it. I think I've noticed that with Five, when I've seen Five live, Five live, sorry.
Although there's only 3 of them now.
Yeah, there's 3 now, definitely. Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah, well, I remember sitting in the arena at Brighton, and a voice came over the tannoy and went 5, and a girl behind me went 3. But yeah, that was interesting. So this A1 album, Make It Good, do we think it is like the definitive A1 album, or are there better albums out there?
The younger Donna would like the A-list because of the upbeat tunes that are on there, but the approaching 40-year-old Donna really does enjoy the kind of the more acoustic kind of side of Make It Good.
Yeah.
And Caught in the Middle, and that kind of sound that is it's more of a classic band sound as opposed to the kind of manufactured pop sound that they had in the previous kind of albums, right back to the first one, First to Believe. So I would definitely say it is the better of the albums, to be fair.
In regards to, like, obviously that mature side, so it kind of depends what mood you're in, I suppose. You just want like light-hearted, like bouncy pop, then obviously then you put like the earlier stuff on, and if you feel like I'm in the mood for like something a bit, mature, a bit more chill, because it's very chilled. I'd say that it's quite a nice chilled album, and if you're in that kind of mood, it's just nice to put that on and listen to. So I just really say it all depends on your mood at the time, what you feel like, really, because they're all different in different ways, and it just depends how you feel, what you want to listen to at the time.
That's a nice thing, actually, because I think we certainly music fans or non-fans of pop music, so people that don't like pop music think it all sounds the same, think that every album is the same, every album is like a carbon copy of the previous one, and it's literally all just manufactured. As a fan of the band Boyzone, knowing that every album changed from the previous one and seeing that change, and obviously with A1 they've had exactly the same thing. There are bands that we could name, that I won't, that obviously remained the same, and like you say, because there is that variety there, it really depends what mood you're in. I mean, I have to say that seeing them on the big reunion boy band tour, I was waiting for Summertime, and then I think they in between the music, I think they kind of sang the chorus and said, "You'd really like that one, wouldn't you?" And then went on to something else, which I was mildly disappointed with. But maybe they realised that people were more into sort of the other songs because that's one of their earlier recordings.
Sounds like they did like a medley, and they do seem to do that quite a bit now, where they like to do like a medley or a couple mixed in together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there we go. I'll draw it to a close. Now, obviously, we said that you said that you were hoping to see them very soon. Yeah. Are you excited for that? Because you've seen them loads of times. Do you still get excited about going to an A1 concert?
Definitely, I would say I am excited, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't want to build my hopes up because of the situation. So it's probably going to I can't really get excited for it until I know because it's like, we don't know. It's the unknown at the moment, isn't it? So if I knew it was definitely be happening, I'd be excited and I'd be really looking forward to it. And just because it's really nice experience all in all, because what I tend to do is I'll go to the gig, but I'll stay over and I get to plan my trip, and I get to go to concert, and I get a nice trip away, and it's a nice little break, and it's all part of it.
Yeah, part of the experience.
So, yeah, part of the package and experience for sure. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's A1 or I've gone to see concerts with my mum, and so I've gone to see Barry Manilow, and it live music, whatever it is, the atmosphere is just amazing and electric, and you just can't beat it. So whenever you've got something booked in, it is always the excitement of it coming up. Is just brilliant, because seeing them in person, having them sing that live that you've listened to thousands of times on a CD, the words, being in a room where the one common goal is that everybody's enjoying themselves and enjoying the music. It's just fantastic.
It is. I mean, a lot of people say to me, "Oh, what do you do? What do you like doing? What are your hobbies?" And I'm always like, concerts. I just love going to concerts. It's just a really, really big hobby of mine. It's something I love to do. So yeah, I would like to go and see them. They're quite they do quite a lot, don't they, in like Norway, because obviously Christian is from there. So I'd quite like to go over to Norway and actually see them in. I actually would myself, and I've travelled over to Norway for a concert before, not A1, but for an artist, and that experience in itself was lovely, and it's great to see Norway, and it was in the winter, so the snow, it was beautiful. So I certainly wouldn't say no to doing it again. And like you said, to see them in a different country and to see what the atmosphere, because obviously I bet it's completely different to what we are as fans as well. I can imagine them being a bit more calmer than us, and like a bit more chill and relaxed than we are.
Yeah. Like another level down from the fans that you spoke to last time. Mm-hmm. Another step down from us.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I hope that you both get to see them very soon, and just concerts in general, really. Yes. Yeah, last question here. The Make It Good album, one track from it, what do you choose?
This is actually my standout. As well as Caught in the Middle, my standout is Cherish This Love. I just love that song. And it's Ben solo. I mean, it's like nothing to do with that at all, obviously.
Learn to Fly is a very good song. The Caught in the Middle, but Learn to Fly is I do like that song.
Yeah. I have to say, I'll give Do You Remember a mention, because I think that's a really good song.
Well, there we are. I would have said Caught in the Middle. I did last time, and I will this time, because I just love it. It's flawless. Yeah, it's flawless.
It has been very well put together and written, to be fair.
It has, yeah. I mean, and the music video, I love the music video as well. Again, with the snow, it's lovely. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd like to say thank you very much, Hayley and Donna, for joining us on the 90s and Noughties Roundtable today.
You're welcome. No worries.
Take care.
You've been listening to the 90s and Noughties UK podcast, a podcast on UK pop culture of the 90s and 2000s. This is Jamie Dyer saying thank you very much for listening, and if you'd like to get in contact with us, you can tweet us 90s Noughties UK on Twitter. You can email 90sandnaughties@gmail.com. You can also go to the Facebook page, which is just simply 90s and Noughties UK. You can also rate, comment and subscribe on your favourite podcast provider. From me, Jamie Dyer, thank you once again. See you on the next episode.